Hello, it's me, Chelsea Rose, also known as Lucid Rose. It's really hot. I live in Portland, Oregon. I was originally from Southern California, so you'd think I'd be happy or used to it. No, I am not. It is one of the many reasons I vacated Southern California, was the heat. It's intolerable. Oh my gosh. It's like 96 today or something ridiculous. I didn't even really want to look. That's just what I remember it saying it was going to be earlier in the week. Anyway, like, I apologize if I'm not very articulate in this particular video, although I guess I'm not generally articulate. Anyway, my brain is like melted. And I really needed to do a vlog. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't been doing them enough. I have all of these intentions. Like, I have this whole list of videos that I need to get through that I really want to shoot. So anyway, here's me attempting, and I have my AC unit just blasting in my apartment, so it's entirely too loud to record a video. And anyway, I do like doing my little video vlog updates on my patio garden, so here I am, hanging out in my patio garden in the heat of summer in Portland, Oregon. And what's making it tolerable is tea, of course. Did some cold brew iced tea with some, it's from Harney & Sons, called Paris. Carissa, one of my patrons and just sweet lady and YouTube follower, and she's commissioning stuff and whatnot, since she's an avid tea drinker, and she sent me to my P.O. box, she sent me some yummy tea, some of her favorite tea, and I love that. And she came up with the idea of doing like a tea exchange, which is another thing I love, so I'm going to send her back some of my Rooibos chai probably. Yeah, so if you have any favorite teas, let me know. I'd love to expand my horizon on the tea I drink. I feel like I kind of get into a rut and I drink the tea that I drink. But anyway, this is Harney & Sons Paris, and it is completely, absolutely delightful chilled. So good, so good. I highly recommend it. Thanks, Carissa. Thank you, Sap. And anyway, what is the point? The point of this video is to discuss with you this month limited edition hand tea stained print. For those of you who have followed me for quite some time, you'll be aware that every month I put out a limited edition of 10 hand tea stained prints, and this month is one called Familiar Haunts. Here it is. And I drew this, or at least this drawing was inspired by a trip to the Oregon coast I just did with Danny and his mom and his brother. We drove out to Astoria, which I guess his mom has a friend who has a condo, wasn't there. They let us stay there. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Astoria. That's like Goonies territory. I don't know if you've watched the movie Goonies, but you know, that's where the house of the Goonies is. And then they took video of the beach in Cannon Beach, and I mean just all sorts of along the coast. So we kind of hit up all those little touristy spots and hung out. But my favorite thing was just walking around Astoria and finding all of these just fantastic Victorian houses. I am absolutely, completely obsessed with Victorian houses and the Victorian era in general, but oh my god, Victorian architecture is just absolutely stunning, and it's been really inspiring me lately. So while I was there, I took a ridiculous amount of photos. I bored the crap out of my Instagram followers by like spamming them. So I don't know. But so I took a lot of photos, and while I was there, I ended up drawing because I was just so inspired by all the Victorian houses. So this drawing is the original drawing that the tea stain print is based off of, and I had taken watercolor paper, watercolor paint, my quill pen and ink, thinking that I'd have plenty of time to draw while I was there. We actually really didn't have much time because we were so busy walking around and doing things, and we went over to Washington, and anyway, but this is what I did manage to come up with while I was there. So it's a giant Victorian lady who's kind of cradling a little Victorian house, and you can see there's interesting little details in the garden. There's some of my classic eyeball roses and little trees up there, and it's got a beautiful bay window because I have a total bay window fetish, like 100% obsessed with bay windows. And yeah, I don't know, I was just kind of inspired by a couple of different features in some of the Victorians, and I just kind of put those in the building. And then I put like a cityscape in the background, and the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, well, what's going on here? Is it a giant Victorian lady, or maybe is it this like, it's like a spirit, like a ghost maybe, kind of cradling her home? I don't know. So I'm interested in interpretations, but I did end up calling it Familiar Haunt. So that's what it is, and I had a lot of fun with the tea painting. Using the hibiscus tea, which turns like a bluish, purplish gray. I ended up using that primarily to paint the lady, and I think it made her kind of very ghostly. I really liked the effect it had, and then I just used some of the Rooibos chai for clouds, and some of the warmth in the Victorian house and stuff. I like that the Victorian house is kind of warm in contrast with her pool. Anyway, I just absolutely love this one. You know, like I had a feeling that it wouldn't be the best seller, honestly, but I don't choose my pen and ink, or I don't choose my limited edition prints based on like which ones I think are going to sell. I really just do it based on what do I want to release, which drawing of mine am I excited about, and this was the one. I did consider this other one. I even did a test tea staining of it. I drew this recently. I've been interested in trying some of the Sugar Skull inspired Mexicana Day of the Dead kind of look, and this is kind of the first one that I felt like had some success with, so I went ahead and printed it. A lot of people liked it on Instagram and Facebook, so I thought, well, maybe this one for this month. But I mean, this is relevant to me right now, this one, because this is a reflection of some really great times I just had at the coast, what's really inspiring right now, and so it's going to be a joy to paint these for you, hand paint them with tea. So order them if you'd like. That's lucidopticlab.etsy.com. I think there's 8 left right now. I just released them yesterday, so grab yours before it's gone. I sign and date them at the bottom here, and yeah. But I think this one, you know, this one might make sense for September, you know, because September is kind of the beginning of fall creeping in. My patio garden's already completely dead, but you know, you begin to see the changes of the season, and I think kind of a Day of the Dead chick might be more appropriate for that kind of month, the feel. You know, fall is definitely my favorite season, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, anyway, I think this is going to be the one I release next month, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, beyond the Victorian houses in Astoria being absolutely dreamy, and I just wanted to live in all of them. I wanted to live in them all. I just wanted to steal them all. If I could have just taken them all and put them in my pocket. You know, it just, my dream house would definitely be some sad, lonely, little misty, forgotten sea cove in Oregon, and it would be a green and purple Victorian with a bunch of turrets and bay windows, and it would be a little run down. I like it when they're a little kind of grungy and maybe just slightly dilapidated, I don't know. And yeah, just kind of maybe situated on a cliffside, a misty cliffside. That is my dream home. That is definitely my dream home, and I think that's yeah, that's something I'm going to just continue to explore in my drawings. And I think perhaps what might help, I mean, I took a lot of photos for reference to continue doing some of these Victorian architectural inspired drawings. I think I'm going to grab a book too. I think I'm going to go to Pal's Books and see if they have any things on Victorian architecture that I could grab. But you know, we also drove over the bridge that connects Astoria to Washington, and we drove out to what is called Cape Disappointment. Apparently, the Columbia River Gorge meets the ocean in this vicinity, and it's notoriously difficult to traverse via boat. It's got a lot of features in it that make it very easy for ships to run aground, and apparently that happens so much throughout the history of the area, you know, in pioneer times, 1800s and beyond, that area is known as Cape Disappointment because the amount of shipwrecks that happen, the amount of lives lost in that body of water. So I don't know, I've always kind of wanted to go visit that, and of course it held up marvelously to its name. It's this very, very like emo kind of like cold, dark, misty waterside where, you know, ocean water meets forest, misty, dark forest, and you know, there's not a lot of people out there. It's kind of desolate, kind of creepy, dreamy. I just loved it. And along the hike out to the lighthouse at Cape Disappointment was a little cove called Dead Man's Cove. Dead Man's Cove, Dead Man's Toes, Dead Man's Toes. Wait, sorry. Yeah, it was called Dead Man's Cove. Apparently because that's generally where the shipwreck, you know, where the bodies would end up kind of floating on into, and being beached there. And you can see why. I mean, it's just like massively filled with bleached driftwood just everywhere. So you can just see things drift into this cove. It's not really the cove's fault. It's just the nature of it. It's a collector of sorts, I would say, this cove. But it's beautiful. It's surrounded by evergreen forest. It's just this little tiny cove that's sheltered on all sides by foresty cliff, and then there's this big rock. But yeah, all in all, I realized I need to take more trips. I need to take more time for myself. I have vacation time. Why don't I use it? Because it was extremely inspiring to me, and I want to do more exploring, and I definitely want to continue to evolve my love for Victorian homes and draw a bunch more. So anyway, that's the story behind the inspiration of this month's tea stain print, Familiar Haunts, and I hope you'll want to scoop one up and make it yours before they are gone. Grab those at lucidopticlab.etsy.com. I also have a lot of original paintings in my shop right now, especially tea stain print or original pen and ink, like quill pen drawings that I stained with tea, as well as quill pen drawings that I did some watercolor painting on. So I think my next video might actually be taking this original drawing of the print that I've made and doing some watercolor on it. I think watercolor. I mean, I'm really tempted to just tea stain it, but I think I could do some interesting stuff with it on watercolor. So I think I'm going to do a video about that process, again, like my other watercolor videos that I've been posting recently. So stay tuned for that, and you know, enjoy the summer while it lasts. Definitely have fun with trying all your favorite teas chilled, or doing a really long cold brew, or even making sun tea. Yeah. I really recommend it. You know, tea is my favorite when it's cold and misty and rainy or even snowy, but it definitely takes the edge off of the like nastiness, the crudeness of summer. So if you're suffering, treat yourself to a nice chilled tea. It really will take the edge off. Anyway, that's my advice. That's my advice here from a fellow tea junkie to perhaps others out there. Hello out there! Hello! Anyway, I'm being a goofball. My brain is completely melting. I better go inside. Yeah, this is no good. Okay, alright. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Check out my Etsy shop. Also, definitely consider backing me on my Patreon page, patreon.com/ChelseaRoseArts. Any little bit counts, even $1. I mean, I have almost 2K followers now on YouTube. Can you imagine if each one just donated $1 to my Patreon? I mean, that would just be amazing. I could like just do art full time. I wouldn't have to worry. I could make so many videos. I could draw so many things. So yeah, just consider that, $1 or more. I have some awesome rewards for some of the higher pledges as well. No pressure though, I totally understand. Thank you so much just for watching and enjoying, liking, subscribing, commenting. It's super encouraging and inspiring, so thank you. And more soon. Much love. Cheers. Bye.